Hello friends, welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is I. Welcome to Tuesday. I've got the girls in here at the moment. There they are. And they're like, so my oldest daughter is buying a kitten, a very, very cute kitten. What is it? A rag doll. Yeah. And it's white and it's got a cute little green nose, and we're just debating on the name. And so we've been talking about it at the moment. I think, and my second daughter, Esri, thinks it should be called Mr. Noodle. Hey, Ez. And we're going to say it like this, Mr. Noodle. And it's going to be the cutest little thing ever. Hey, Neri. And Tiana's like, no, we can't call it Noodle. And I'm like, yeah, we can. Mr. Noodle is what it is. We've been talking about it. It's really funny. And it has to be said in this voice, or it could be Taco, Mr. Taco. Anyway, there you go. That's the shenanigans happening in the office today. Completely ridiculous and crazy. Oh, I just hit myself in the face.
Cat names down below.
Huh?
Cat names down below.
Oh, if my Tiana has requested, if you've got a really cute boy cat name, put it in, tell us, and maybe we can vote on it. Maybe Facebook can decide. I think Mr. Noodle.
Taco.
Anywho. So there you go. So shenanigans today. Welcome back. So what I wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about today is some of the things that I've been up to over the last 24 hours that have been really helpful for me. So I don't know about you guys, but I always have a million ideas, a million and one things that I've got going on. There's lots of projects that the kids have left. It got boring talking about work. Lots of projects that I want to do, so many different ideas, so many different programs, things that I want to create. Hey, Tamara, Happy New Year. And I can sometimes feel, particularly at this time of year, I can get a little bit, anxious and overwhelmed about all of the things that I want to do. Put that like that. And the thing that I've used consistently in the last decade, it seems ridiculous saying that actually, in the last decade to really help me be super productive, be really efficient and effective. And the thing that's actually enabled me to work maybe 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, maybe 4 hours a day, like really effectively, and still do $500,000, $1 million a year, has been the way that I kind of reverse engineer my year. So I thought that I would step you through this today and you can take from it what you will. Meanwhile, keep the cat names flowing in there. So the first thing that I would suggest that you do, and if you guys want a copy, my printer is running out of toner, so excuse the really shit copy. If you want a copy of the planner, the planning document, the template, I can send that through to you. Just to let you know, we are rolling out a 30-day challenge on Monday that is actually not only putting this in place, but then also holding you accountable to all of this as well. So the first thing that you need to do, if you want a copy of this, I do not have it ready to email you or send to you now. Message me your email address. You don't have to opt in for it or anything. I'll just send you through a blank template that you can use to infill this kind of thing. So the thing that I love about this is it gets you really thinking. So the first thing that you need to do is think about when you fast forward to the end of this year. So we fast forward our brains right forward to the end of 2020. And I want you to be thinking about the revenue that you want to hit, hey Ness, thank you so much. Great to see you. Happy New Year. Think about the revenue you've hit. Think about how many clients, hey Tani, how many clients have you been able to help? How many lives have you impacted and changed? Have there been any monumental things that you have done, that you've achieved, that you've bought, that you've gotten through? So really fast forward to December 31st, 2020, and I want you to be looking back over the year, really getting clear on those goals, those aligned things that you want, and then who are you with? Right? How are you celebrating? What are the milestones that you've hit, that you've been able to come through? So that's the first thing that you need to do. Now, when you've got this template, that is going to go up in here. Okay? Again, apologies for the shitness of my toner. It's really bad. All right. So then what you're going to do is go, all right, so my revenue target that I have hit, because we're writing it in there as if it's happened, is $1 million, 1.5 million, $500,000, 10 million, whatever your revenue target is. Write that in there. Then what we're going to have a look at is, all right, what do we need to do over this next quarter? So we've got January, February, March. We are only a week into January, which is really, really amazing. We've still got, where the fact that you guys are listening, you're probably starting to think about how you really want this year to look. And actually, before you get into the next 90 days, I want you to think about what your non-negotiables are. Are you wanting to do $500,000 a year, working 5 days a week? Are you wanting to do $100,000 a year, working 5 hours a week? What are the things, what is going to be really amazing? What would change your life this year? So over the next 3 months, over the next 90 days, what is it then that you really want to focus on doing? So some of the things that you might have in here is going, okay, I'm going to hit 10 grand a month. I'm going to hit 20 grand a month. I'm going to hit 50 grand a month. I'm going to hit $100,000 a month. Whatever your number is, write that in there as if it's happened. I have hit X amount of dollars. So one of the things, I've got lots of physical body goals actually this year. And I'm like, okay, I will be toned, healthy, ripped. I want to feel energized. I will not be eating sugar because sugar makes me fucking cranky. All of these things. I want to write another book this year. So I'm like, okay, I've got my book draft done this quarter. So what do you really, if you get down to the nitty gritty of it over the next 3 months, what is it that you want to have achieved and what is it that you want to have done? And then you're going to list that out in the 90-day goals section just in here. Then what you're going to look at is go, all right, so I've got these 90-day goals. That's really, really great. What's the next thing that I'm going to focus on in the month of January? So it might be launching a program. It might be learning technology. It might be getting all your banking streamlined and set up. Perhaps it's about just going, you know what, I've really got to get into this technology and really understand it. Perhaps it's about being consistent with your blogging, with your vlogging, with your live streams, with the emails that you're doing. Maybe it's about getting some fresh photos taken so that you can really ramp into this year feeling the best version of you. I don't know, what is it for you that you really want to do over the next 30 days? So in January, some of the things that I look at with this is I've gone, hey, Catherine, all right, I want to be really organized. So there are some things that I do, I talk about alignment a lot, right? And there are some things that I like to do when I'm feeling it. And there are things that I like to do that are also structured and systematic. And it can be a little bit of a dance, right? It's a little bit being introverted sometimes and extroverted sometimes. You kind of swing to both sides in that sense. So there's a lot of stuff. I haven't actually journaled today. I didn't know what I was going to talk about until I hit go live today. Is why we talked about the cats and the cat names. And it's okay, bang, let's chat about what I've been doing over the last 24 hours. So there are some times that I really love to be a little bit more free flowing and stuff like that. And then there's other times when I really know that I love having some structure and foundation underneath me, because that really sets me up for being able to free flow and just trust whatever it is that's going to come out of my mouth, out of my journal, out of my fingers when I'm typing. So for that reason, one of the things that I like to do is have some skeleton posts and skeleton content ready to go. So I will spend some time, and this is one of the things that I've got in my 30-day plan, is I want to make sure that I've got my, the picture quotes that I put out, with the motivational quotes or the things from I'll quote Gwen Stefani or Robbie Williams or Lady Gaga or Madonna. Those pictures and things, I create those a good month or 2 months in advance, right? So I'll go through and I'll do all of those in a big batch. I generally create at least 60 at a time. And then I actually send them off to my virtual assistant to go ahead and schedule. So what that does for me, and you will have seen this over the last 3 weeks, I haven't been very present live on my Facebook page because I've been on holidays, we've been overseas. Then last week we had the fire catastrophe. It was just really fucking bad. And I know they've been going on for months, but last week was really, tough for most of us here in this country. And so I didn't feel like it was appropriate, and I didn't know how to, I wasn't feeling compelled to really be talking about marketing and content and stuff like that when we were deep in the throes of it all, even over the weekend. So to me, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let the skeleton content do its thing. And I'll post some things as they come up, like the gym and morning walks and stuff like that. Post those up as the time comes, live. Hey, Georgina. But I had a lot of you guys have seen, there's been content going out. There's been content still flowing over the last 3 weeks, but I haven't been actually sitting there doing it live at that moment, right? So it's really helpful. Like, we all have great days and we all have mediocre days and we all have some shit days. And there are some days where doing all of the mindset work, doing all of the journaling, doing everything that it is that you need to do, there will be some days when you're like, just fuck this shit. I actually can't do this, right? And so that's where your skeleton content can, like your memes, your picture quotes, I call them, or little excerpts out of your blogs and stuff, that's where they can become so fucking helpful, because your people are still getting help, but you're getting the chance to do process whatever it is that you're doing in real time. Yeah. So go and have those done. Get those pre-created and get them scheduled in there. So that's one of the things that I'll do in this month. I'll make sure that I've got February and March ready. Blogging daily, journaling daily, new programs ready to roll out. I've got Up the Ante. We've got the Visible National Tour for 2020 happening in May. I'm so excited. Off the bat, it's so funny. I decided to do the national tour in October last year, launched the national tour, ran it in November, and seriously, it was the most fun, the easiest series of events. I've been running events since 2010. It was the easiest thing I've ever freaking done. So I'm like, right, we're going to do that again. So I was like, right, I've got to do it again in May. And, one of the things in the January planning is I've got to be talking about Visible Live. Otherwise, no one's going to come. And that would be really devastating. So I've got that. So over this next month, what are the things the key projects or the key things that you're going to get started, or that you're going to get started on, and that you're going to do? And then what you need to do is go, all right, you look at your 30-day projects, right? And I have them listed. And then I'll think, okay, so what am I going to do in week 1? This is week 1 of this month. And then because I didn't work really last week with clients, I did, but not publicly. So what am I going to focus on in week 1? What am I focusing on in week 2? What am I focusing on in week 3? What am I focusing on in week 4? And so that way you can start to divvy up the projects into each week. And this is where it starts to become really powerful. So this is what I've got on this week. Hey, Jeremy. So if I look at this, I go, all right, so I know what my core projects are for this week, and it's to roll out my new program, which is called Who Runs the World. Really freaking excited about it. It came out in my journaling yesterday morning while I was sitting waiting for my gym class to start. So I've kind of mapped that out. So I know that I need to spend this week or today and tomorrow getting really clear on what that looks like, getting the pre-launch ready, getting all of that stuff done. So got those things in there, right? So in your day-to-day things, and don't be too overwhelmed with this. So just in here, I just want to show you, and I know it's back to front, you guys, but you guys are really, really clever. So in here, I've got the coffee run. So I do the live on Facebook. Then in here is what I'm going to do with the live. So they're not really, it's more like tick and flick. It's more like reminders for me as I'm working through. I go, oh, yep, cross that off. Oh, yep, cross that off. Oh, yep, cross that off. Oh, yep, cross that off, right? So with the coffee run this morning, I make sure that I go and share it over to LinkedIn. I'll make sure that I share it over to my personal page. I know that I'll go and put it up into YouTube, into SoundCloud, into Vimeo, so on and so forth. Email it out to the people on my email list. So this is more like the micro tasks. This is kind of like the to-do list. What becomes really helpful then is that all I need to think about, it's Tuesday, the 7th of January. So it's our 40th wedding anniversary, actually, today. Happy anniversary to my husband. Been together for a lot longer, but 14 years married. Kind of monumental, I think. So today, other than that, I'm like, okay, so what is it that I need to do? And all I look at for today is what's in this column. I don't look at any of the other stuff. Now, what happens with this is that I get to the end of the day and it's like, okay, is there anything in here that didn't get done? Is there anything that needs to be transferred over to tomorrow? Is it actually really important that I do that thing? Like maybe there's something in here that I'm just like, probably not much. I probably don't really need to do that, or probably should have done that, or whatever else. So it creates that sense of, you know, when I get to the end of the day, I cross it off or I move it over to the next day. So it creates a sense of achievement. It creates a really strong focus thing, because I know if I can get through this stuff this week, then that creates a space for me to focus on the things for next week. And then I've automatically then achieved my 30-day goal. Now, if I do that every month for 3 months, I will automatically have achieved my 90-day goals, right? Because they're all been broken down. And if I can do that 4 times a year, I've hit my my annual goals, right? Now, the thing that's really cool about this is that I know on a daily basis exactly what it is that I need to do. I don't sit here going, now, what was that thing that I needed to do? I needed to do that thing, or forgetting stuff, or having bits of paper flying around the office trying to remember and remind me of the stuff that I need to do. It's all just sitting there, you know, ready to go. So, yeah, I find that really helpful. So if you want that template, let me know. Pop your email address down in here or message it to me and I'll flick it through. You don't need to opt in for it. I'll just send it to you. If you do want some help with it, and if you want to spend the next 30 days together implementing it, as I said, we've got a 30-day challenge that is starting on Monday. It's $497 for the whole entire month. It is just, it's super cheap. And we actually speak at 6 o'clock Sydney time every morning to make sure that you've got everything that you need to be able to get the stuff that is on your weekly, your daily column actually achieved, done, and implemented. Now, what I've found through this, for me personally, but also what clients have said, and we've had some, you know, $1 million business owners use this stuff come through this challenge, and people just absolutely shoot the lights out. You're getting 3 months worth of work done in a month. Not because they're working more hours, to be really clear, but because they're working more efficiently and effectively, working really well with the things that they've got available to them. So that's that. If you need to know about that or want to know about that, flick me through again. Just say, hey, I'm curious about that, and I can shoot you through the link. I don't know what it is. I can't give it to you. This is all very off the cuff today, but I knew that it is on my list to mention it. See, look, 30-day radical implementation challenge. That's what it's called. That is that. I've got NAS, PT at 6 a.m. except Mondays and Thursdays. Yes, you can. And then what I'll just get you to do, you'll just check in the group and make sure that you've got all of that information, that you've got the things ready that you need. So yeah, totally. Thanks, Tani. That's so sweet. Yeah, so that's really very exciting. So we've got that done. What else have I been working on? Oh, I invented a new program in the last 24 hours. As I said, that's called Who Runs the World. It's a 7-day, quick, short, sharp, shiny, really super, it's going to be so much fun, but really about getting this year. I think I decided it's like $147, or there's a VIP element as well. And the VIP, the difference between those two is going to be donated to the fires. I haven't decided which particular one yet, but that's going to happen. So, anywho, that is that. So that's what I wanted to talk with you about today. The thing that I have found, and I've been doing this for years. I found this. Ow! Oh my God, I just hit my knee. That really hurt. Check this out, you guys. So this pile, so just to show you, there's a pile of planners. There's a pile of planners. There's some more planners. I found this one. So I've been cleaning out my office, right? These ones date back to 2011, that particular one. Check these. So just to show you that I actually use what I tell you. Planners. That's 2017. These are 2016, 2015. 2014. It's just, yeah, I've been using these since 2011. What's this one? Let's see. This is kind of fun. Oh, the Apprentice program. Oh my gosh, that was like at a style video shoot, you guys. Oh, look, 2012. Yeah, so anywho. That is it's really one of the, it's not the single most amazing thing that I've ever come across, but it is certainly the system that I have used. Like, that's just the ones that I could find and collate for you. It is one of the pivotal systems that I have used consistently most days. I just lost the one that I'm using right now. That's annoying. I think I might have just packaged up the one from this week somewhere. That's a bit irritating. Oh, here it is. I've shoved it in here. Practical and effective. Yes, Tamara, absolutely. There it is. Thank God. It's the thing that's really kept me on track. It's the thing that's kept me consistent. It's the thing that's really kept me really efficient and effective, productive, throughout forever, the history of all things. So I think it's really powerful. Like I said, if you want the template, just send me a message and I'll send it to you. If you want to be part of the 30-day challenge, let me know and I can shoot you that link as well. So the thing that I want to leave you with today is, obviously, we know that the fire situation is still, even though there's been a bit of relief over the last couple of days, still something that's really at the forefront of many, many people's minds and hearts and things like that. And I think the big thing that I really want to leave you guys with today is the more you put yourself out there, the more you are graciously marketing yourself, your programs, and all of that kind of thing, the more you're going to be able to help people. And the more that you help people, the more revenue you make, the more choices we have in the way that we either empower people, the way that we then are able to show up and help other people in the world. So, and I also do believe that, I know for me anyway, I've been feeling a bit funky with trying to work out how to do it and be gracious, but also honor. In my journal, it's like you've got a soul obligation to sharing your message and to helping the people that you're here to help. And it's really important that you do share your message, that you do your work. Not work as in necessarily the typing work, but that you're doing your work, that you're working your magic, that you're finding a way to still be able to do that. Because when we suppress it, that's kind of when things can become even harder in terms of feeling stuck, stagnant, questioning whether or not this is what you're supposed to be doing or not. So it's important that you keep some kind of momentum, gracious momentum happening, even in times of crisis, if you have the ability to. If you don't, obviously don't. And if you feel like you've got to take some time to breathe and work stuff out, then that's fine. Just don't stop, because when you stop, it becomes a lot harder for you to build that momentum again. Alrighty, that's my thoughts on all of that. All right, my friends, have a really fantastic and fun 7th of January 2020. It's ridiculous that we're in 2020. Have a fabulous day. Get out there, go help some people, stay safe, have a whole lot of fun doing it, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I will talk to you soon. Bye.